The first hour after you wake up might be quietly shaping the rest of your life. Most people don't realize this. They think longevity is about big things, surgeries, medications, perfect genetics. But the people who live the longest, they tend to say the same thing. It's the little things done every day that no one sees. Let's be honest, by the time you turn 60 or 70, your body starts whispering truths. Your energy shifts, sleep changes. Maybe your memory isn't quite as quick. Maybe your joints talk to you when you get out of bed. And yet here's the good news, you are not powerless. What you do in the quiet moments after you wake up, before the world begins demanding things from you, can either speed up your aging, or gently push the brakes on it. That's what this video is about. We're not going to talk about miracle cures or overnight transformations. We're going to explore 7 small morning habits, proven by science, backed by real people, that may help you live not just longer, but with more clarity, more calm, and more freedom. This isn't about chasing youth, it's about respecting your body, listening to it, and learning to meet the day in a way that adds years to your life, and life to your years. So if you're over 60, or even just starting to feel that age creeping into your mornings, stick around, because what you do tomorrow morning could quietly change everything. Habit 1. Drink water before your feet hit the floor. It's one of the simplest actions you can take. No equipment, no money, just 1 glass of water. And yet, it might be the most powerful thing you do all day. When you wake up, you're not just tired, you're dehydrated. Your body has gone 7 or 8 hours without a drop of fluid. No coffee, no tea, not even a sip, just sleep. And during that time, your body has been losing water through breathing, sweating, and natural processes. Now here's the part most people miss. When your body wakes up dry, your blood becomes thicker. Your heart has to work harder. Your brain gets less oxygen. Your kidneys strain. It's like trying to start a car on low oil and an empty radiator. This isn't theory. Studies show that morning dehydration increases your risk of stroke, heart attack, and even memory decline over time. And it's worse if you're over 60. Why? Because as we age, our thirst signals fade. We stop feeling thirsty, but our cells are still craving water. I met a man named Jack once. He was 72, sharp as a tack, but constantly fatigued. His doctor ordered blood work, ran scans, checked his heart. Everything looked okay. But Jack still felt like he was running on fumes. Then one nurse asked him, "When's the first time you drink water in the day?" He paused. "Maybe mid-morning? After coffee?" She smiled. "Let's try something else." The next morning, Jack drank 16 ounces of water before his feet hit the floor. That was it. 1 week later, he said, "It's like someone plugged me back in." He was more alert. His digestion improved, his mood lifted, and surprisingly, he stopped having dizzy spells when standing up. So here's what you can do. Tonight, pour yourself a glass of water and leave it on your nightstand. Room temperature. Not cold. First thing tomorrow, before anything else, and before your phone, your coffee, or even getting dressed, drink the whole thing. This small act does 3 major things: thins your blood, easing strain on your heart; wakes up your kidneys, helping flush toxins; jumpstarts your metabolism and brain function without a crash. You don't need fancy water filters or supplements. You just need consistency. And if you already do this, beautiful. But if you don't, ask yourself what's stopping you. What's more important than giving your body the very thing it's quietly begging for? Sometimes the smartest habits aren't flashy, they're just consistent. So tomorrow morning, don't reach for your phone. Reach for your water. Your brain, your heart, your kidneys, they're all waiting. Habit 2, step into the light within 30 minutes of waking. There's something sacred about early morning light. It's softer, quieter, almost like the day is whispering, "I'm here, let's begin." But beyond its poetry, morning sunlight, is one of the most powerful tools you have for longevity, and most people never use it. Let's rewind a bit. Your body isn't just made of organs and bones. It runs on rhythms, internal clocks called circadian rhythms that tell every system when to wake, when to rest, when to repair. And these rhythms, they don't set themselves. They're waiting for one thing: light, specifically natural. Morning light, not phone screens, not overhead lamps, but the real thing, the kind of light that hits your eyes and skin and tells your body, the day has started, time to align. Let me tell you about Ruth. She's 79, lives alone, was having trouble sleeping, trouble focusing. She felt like her days blurred together, like she was awake but not really living. One day during a checkup, her doctor asked, "Do you get outside in the morning?" She shook her head. "Not really. I watch the news, then make coffee." That one habit, the staying indoors, was throwing off her body's entire rhythm. She wasn't sleeping deeply. Her cortisol, stress hormone, was all over the place. And her energy dropped every afternoon like clockwork. So she made a tiny change. She stepped outside. Every morning, within 30 minutes of waking, she sat on her porch. Didn't scroll, didn't plan. Just let the sunlight touch her face. After 2 weeks, her sleep improved. After a month, her mood lifted. She felt clearer, stronger, alive. Science backs this up. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that just 10 minutes of morning sunlight can improve sleep quality, boost serotonin, your feel-good hormone, and support healthy brain. Aging morning light resets your internal clock. It signals to your brain, make melatonin later tonight. It supports digestion, immunity, and mental clarity. It even lowers blood pressure, naturally. Here's what you can do. Tomorrow morning, go outside within 30 minutes of waking. Take your tea or coffee with you. Sit by a window if mobility is an issue. Even filtered sunlight helps. And if it's cloudy, still go. Even overcast morning light is 50–100x brighter than indoor bulbs. And your body knows the difference. You don't need to hike, jog, or do it right. You just need to show up for the light. Let it reach you. You've spent years, maybe decades, waking up and jumping straight into obligation, emails, noise, distraction. But now you deserve a gentler start, and it begins with light. Habit 3. Move before you eat. Even just a little. Let me ask you something. What's the very first thing your body wants to do in the morning? Not your brain, not your calendar, your body. If you pay close attention, you'll notice, before. You even sit up. Your joints are whispering. They're stiff, they're cold. They're quietly asking, could we loosen up before we carry the day? Most people don't listen. They go straight from bed to coffee to breakfast to sitting. Again, no movement. No signal to the body that it's time to wake up fully. And over time, those skipped moments start to add up in the form of joint pain, stiffness, inflammation, and limited mobility. But here's what's remarkable. You don't need a gym. You don't need to work out. All you need is a few minutes of gentle, intentional movement before breakfast. I met a man named Charles, 74 years old, retired teacher, had grandkids he adored, but arthritis in his knees made even simple things, like standing from a chair, feel like a mountain. His doctor offered painkillers. A surgeon offered replacements. But Charles wanted to try one last thing before surrendering to the knife. He committed to a morning ritual, 5 minutes of gentle joint movement before breakfast. The first few days were clumsy, slow, but by week 2 he could stand more easily. By week 5 he walked to the corner store without his cane. I didn't get younger, he told me, but I stopped getting older so fast. Here's why it works. When you move gently before eating, you trigger a biological process called autophagy, your body's natural cleanup system. It clears out damaged cells, reduces inflammation, protects your joints. It's like doing a morning sweep inside your body. And studies from the Mayo Clinic show that seniors who stretch or move before breakfast have significantly lower inflammation markers and better joint mobility, even a decade later. So, what should you do? Nothing intense, nothing painful. Try this. Roll your ankles in slow circles 5 times each way. Move your knees side to side gently. Roll your shoulders. Rotate your wrists. Stand and sway slowly left to right. If you can, bend forward and let your arms dangle. You don't need structure. You just need softness. Listen to your joints. Wake them up. You brush your teeth every morning. Not because they hurt, but because you want to prevent problems later. Think of this habit the same way. You're not stretching because you're broken. You're moving because you want to stay whole. So tomorrow morning before breakfast, give your body 5 minutes, not to punish it, but to thank it for carrying you this far. Habit 4. Just breathe. The 30 seconds that change everything. It's the one thing we do every moment of our lives, but most of us barely notice we're doing it. Breathing. It happens in the background. Silent, automatic, forgotten. Until one day, we realize something feels off. Tense shoulders, racing thoughts, a heavy chest, and we wonder, why do I feel this way? But what if the answer isn't what you're doing, but how you're breathing? You see, your breath is more than just air. It's information. With every inhale and exhale, you're sending messages to your body. Am I safe? Should I tense up? Is it time to rest or prepare for danger? And if your breathing is shallow, like most of us when we're stressed, rushed, or distracted, your body responds as if something is wrong. It stays on high alert. Stress hormones rise, digestion slows, the immune system weakens. And over time, this wears you down, physically, mentally, emotionally. But here's the beauty. Just 30 seconds of intentional breathing each morning can shift everything. I remember Helen, 82, quiet, thoughtful, widowed for nearly a decade. She came to one of our senior wellness groups and said, "Every morning I wake up feeling like the day is too heavy. Before I even get out of bed, I'm already tired." We showed her a simple practice, a short breathing rhythm called 4-7-8. Breathe in through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 7 seconds. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 seconds. Do it 3-4 times, takes less than a minute. She started doing it on her porch each morning, eyes closed, no distractions, just breath and silence. 2 weeks later, she smiled. The heaviness lifted. I still have worries, but I don't carry them the same way. This practice activates something called the vagus nerve, a powerful nerve that tells your body, it's okay to relax. You're safe. Let's heal now. It lowers heart rate, reduces cortisol, and shifts your nervous system from fight or flight to rest and repair. It's one of the fastest ways to reduce inflammation, anxiety, and even blood pressure. And it costs nothing. So here's what you can do. Tomorrow morning after your water and morning light, sit down. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly, and breathe. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 7 seconds. Exhale 8 seconds gently through your mouth. Repeat 3 times. That's it. 30 seconds. Don't overthink it. Just do it. This isn't about becoming a yogi. It's about reclaiming control. From the inside out. You've been breathing your whole life, but now for the first time in a long time, maybe it's time to do it on purpose. Habit 5. Eat like you mean to live long. The breakfast that builds your future. Most people don't think twice about what they eat first thing in the morning. It's habit, routine, whatever's quick and comforting, toast and coffee, cereal, maybe a donut. Just enough to start the day, but here's the thing. What you eat in the first hour of the day doesn't just affect your energy until lunch. It affects your metabolism, your inflammation levels, your brain clarity, and ultimately, your longevity. Let me tell you about Gerald. He was 68 when his doctor gave him news he didn't expect. "You're pre-diabetic," the doctor said, "and your inflammation markers are trending up." "But I'm not overweight," Gerald replied. He wasn't. He walked every day, felt generally fine, and kept a pretty normal routine. But then, he looked at his mornings. Every day started the same way: a piece of toast, butter, and coffee with sugar, small. Harmless, familiar, but also fueling low-grade inflammation that was quietly aging him. So he made a single change. Not a diet overhaul, not a crash plan, just breakfast. With the help of a nutritionist, he switched to 2 boiled eggs, a small bowl of oats with chia seeds and berries, a handful of almonds, water first. Coffee after, that was it. No counting calories, no extremes. 6 months later, his blood sugar stabilized, his inflammation dropped, and his energy? "Better than when I was 50, he said. Here's what we know. Longevity researchers have identified a clear pattern among people who live past 90. They eat protein and fiber in the morning. Why? Because it sets your metabolism up to burn clean, steady energy. It supports muscle health. And it minimizes sugar crashes that lead to cravings and fatigue later in the day. So what should breakfast look like? At least 25 grams of protein, at least 8 grams of fiber, healthy fats, not processed carbs. That means eggs, Greek yogurt, tofu or protein smoothies, oats, flaxseed, chia, berries or sautéed vegetables, avocado, olive oil, nuts or seeds avoid. Sugary cereals, pastries, white bread and juice. Those give you a quick hit and then leave your body in chaos for hours. You don't need to cook a feast. You just need to choose foods that support your body and not stress it. This one choice, repeated daily, rewires your biology for repair instead of damage. And over time, that compounds. It's not about restriction. It's about fueling the version of you that wants to keep showing up. Strong, sharp, and full of life. So tomorrow morning, before you reach for what's convenient, ask yourself, is this breakfast building me or breaking me down? It's your choice, and it starts with the very first bite. Habit 6. Say good morning and add years to your life. There's something powerful about the first voice you hear in the morning. If it's not your own, a warm greeting, a shared laugh, even a quiet moment with someone who simply looks you in the eye and says, "Good morning, how do you sleep?" It seems simple, small, maybe even unnecessary. But science and the lives of those who thrive past 90 tell us otherwise. Human connection isn't a luxury. It's a requirement for longevity. In fact, researchers from Harvard's 80-year longevity study found that social connection, especially in the morning, was more predictive of long-term health than even quitting smoking. Yes, you read that. Right. Starting your day with a moment of connection, even just a few minutes, can literally change your body chemistry. Why? Because when you talk to someone you trust, your brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone. That reduces cortisol, stress, lowers blood pressure, and even boosts immune function. It sets a tone for the entire day. I'm not alone. I belong. And that one feeling, belonging, does more for your heart than any multivitamin. Once spoke with Edna, a 91-year-old woman who lived alone in a small home in the Midwest. Her health was steady, her memory sharp, her spirit even sharper. I asked her what her secret was. She smiled and said, "I talk to someone every morning. Doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be deep. But it reminds me I'm still part of the world." Sometimes it was a neighbor walking her dog. Sometimes it was the cashier at the bakery. Sometimes it was a simple text message exchange with her niece. That small connection made before 9 a.m., was her anchor. Here's how you can build this habit. If you live with someone, make eye contact, share a moment, ask something real. If you live alone, consider calling or texting a friend, even for 1 minute. Greet your neighbor when you get the newspaper, wave at the mail carrier, or go out for coffee, not just for the drink, but for the presence of people. Even brief connection is better than none. And when it becomes a morning rhythm, your body begins to expect it and thrive on it. We often think of health as what we eat or how we move, but rarely as how we connect. Yet this habit, more than most, speaks to something deeper than biology. It's about being seen, being heard, being part of something, however small. So tomorrow morning, ask yourself, who will I connect with today before the world gets too noisy? Because when we greet the day together, we carry less alone. And that, perhaps more than anything else, is what keeps us going strong decade after decade. Habit 7. A quiet thank you. How gratitude reshapes your health after 60. There's a moment each morning, before the phone starts buzzing, before the world starts asking for your attention, before your feet even touch the floor, when you can choose how your day begins, not with stress, not with to-do lists, but with something far quieter, more powerful. Gratitude, but not the kind you've heard 100 times, not vague positivity, not just be thankful. We're talking about something much deeper, a specific focused practice of directed gratitude that literally changes how your brain and body age. Let me tell you about Patricia. At 74, her doctor was concerned. Her blood pressure had been high for years. Medication wasn't working as expected. She felt tired, irritable, and emotionally drained, but she refused to give up. Through a senior wellness group, she learned about a practice being studied at Yale and Stanford, a 2-minute morning habit that had been shown to lower cortisol by 23%, improve heart rate variability, and activate parts of the brain associated with resilience and decision-making. And it was simple. Each morning, before checking her phone or turning on the news, Patricia sat in silence. She placed her hand on her chest, closed her eyes, and said out loud, "I'm grateful for my legs that still carry me. I'm grateful for my hands that hold the people I love. I'm grateful for my heart, still beating strong after all these years." 3 things, each one about her body, each one said with intention. After 3 months, something changed. Her blood pressure stabilized, her mood lifted, and she said, I stopped waking up looking for what's wrong. I started noticing what's still working. That shift, from frustration to appreciation, isn't just mental. It's biological. Neuroscientists have found that morning gratitude practice activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for emotional regulation, problem-solving, and long-term planning. In simple terms, gratitude makes your brain younger. So here's how to begin. Each morning, right after your breathing practice, place your hand over your heart. Name 3 parts of your body you're grateful for. Say why. Be specific. Be gentle. Be honest. You don't have to feel perfect. You just have to be present. Some days it will be easy. Some days it may feel silly or hard. But over time, this 2-minute ritual does something remarkable. It rebuilds your relationship with your own body. Not as something broken or aging, but as something strong, faithful, and worthy of thanks. And that simple truth, that you are still here, still breathing, still waking up to new mornings, that's something worth holding on to. So now you know. The first hour of your day is more than just routine. It's a quiet conversation between your body and your future. These 7 small habits, they don't require money, or perfect health, or a new lifestyle, just intention, just a bit of care, just you, choosing to honor the life that still flows through you. You don't have to start with all 7. Start with 1. Start with the one that feels possible, gentle, doable. Then tomorrow, maybe 2. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up for yourself consistently, quietly, with love. Because the truth is, the way we live each morning is the way we build the rest of our life. Thank you for being here, and thank you, truly, for still choosing to care.